And I know this is a conversation you have with your own agents in your office, right? In terms of doing it. You know, if you and I worked at the Gap, we'd get cheap jeans, right? We'd get the employee discount. And real estate for us really is that, because that's the business that we do. And the really unfortunate part is the number of realtors in the industry who don't invest in real estate
Yeah, it's
or
crazy.
haven't chosen to do that. It is crazy. So what would your advice be to realtors who are maybe just getting new in the business and going forward? How would you encourage them, or what would you suggest they do to get into the investment game?
Yeah, I love that question because it's something I'm very passionate about. For one, I'd say do it as soon as you can. You know, there's no reason to wait, not only for the investment purpose yourself, but if you've never bought a house, I think you have a totally different perspective when you're trying to guide people to buying a house. And then two, I think your best first investment, and I should have done it then, but is a multifamily. If you can buy something and then you can rent out the other units and have them pay for yourself, especially with real estate that might have a few more highs and lows than others and not the consistent income. If you could at least get your mortgage paid for by the other units that you're renting, there's just no reason not to. But two, as an agent, you have first access to every single bit of real estate. I think it was actually Ben Kinney that I listened to, but he basically said there should be no good deals on the market. Like, they shouldn't exist because us as the professionals should have bought them. We should have noticed that they were good deals and bought them before they ever hit the market. And that's 100% true. We have that, insight into everything that's going on in the market. Actually, 3 of my rentals were listing appointments that I took, that I went on. And I mean, you have to be very fair and you have to be very honest and give them all the details and give them the pros and cons of you purchasing it or listing it. But, for a lot of people, they don't have to put it on the market. It's a faster transaction. They know it's going to close. Usually there's some sort of ease of negotiation. One of my people, I let them live there until we bought a new house. So now they didn't have to buy contingent. So there's a lot of things that it provides. Plus it usually gives you a better deal too.
Right. So when you have those opportunities, I mean, do you go into an appointment like that with your listing hat on or your investor hat on?
I think that you have to go into every appointment with both hats on. I do have a pretty particular buy box. And so if it is a listing that comes across my desk of an appointment that I'm going on and it fits my buy box, I definitely am going to look at the numbers and see if it will be a good fit for me and or my portfolio. And then I can go in after I kind of feel the sellers out. Some sellers are going to be completely against it and you just know it might not be a good fit. But once I meet them and I could see that it could be a good fit and we could work well together and it might actually benefit them as well as me. Obviously, you want to put the client first, and it's not always going to benefit them from me buying their property. It just won't. But for some, it really could. And if that's the case, then it definitely would be a discussion that we could have. So,
Yeah, I love that. I love that mindset. And you're absolutely right, right? It is about us being fair and honest and transparent on the front end as we have these conversations. I had an opportunity to visit with Robert Kiyosaki. I don't know if you know, he wrote a book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and Cash Flow Quadrant, and a bunch of other things. But he said, people often whinge and whine that opportunity passes them by, and he said what they fail to realize is that there are opportunities every single day,
yeah.
right? We just don't see them. And so getting that mindset. Thanks so much for watching. Please subscribe and join us as we continue to build careers worth having, businesses worth owning, and lives worth living.